Alright guys, welcome back to another Carl's Garage video. Now this is no ordinary Carl's Garage video. This is a special one. Probably the biggest upgrade that I'm going to be doing to my truck in the back right there. We just changed out the headliner. If you wanted the video on how to do that, you can click it up here. But in this video, I got something special. So, if I reach over here, we have this LED fiber light, which is basically like a Rolls Royce skylight, I like to call it. I think it's called. But we're gonna be putting the Starlight through this fabric, making sure it all works, making it look like a Rolls Royce. So yeah, the new Ford Ranger is gonna be a Rolls Royce Ranger. RRR. Wait. All right guys, but without further ado, let's get into the video and I'm gonna show y'all how it's gonna be done. You're gonna wanna plug it in and make sure it works before you actually put it into the truck. All right, so now we know the Starlight works. Now let's get started on the headliner. Oh hey guys, just finishing up this oil change on my truck here. If your car needs to get its oil changed, but you don't want to go through the hassle of taking it into the shop, but still in great quality service, go head on over to my new website, mobileoil.net, schedule your next appointment now. I've already helped out countless people and I'm planning on helping you out next. Go mobile. So we're gonna flip the headliner over. So you see this side. We're just gonna mark all the dots we want and number them. So here's where you can get creative and put the dots in like constellations that you want. Just remember it's gonna be flipped. If you have a Big Dipper here, it's gonna be flipped whenever you put it up, but that shouldn't be a problem. But for me, I think I'm just gonna cluster them around the middle and have them spread out as they go farther out into the headliner. So after you've mapped out all the dots and labeled them where you want them, now we'll go into your car or truck and see where your battery is gonna go. So for me, I'm thinking I'm gonna have the actual box sitting behind the seat, looping in through where the seatbelt goes. So it's gonna be behind this plastic part, coming in behind this under the headliner. The next thing you need to do is measure how much slack you're gonna need before it actually gets to the headline. And measure it from the box, which is down here, all the way up to where the headliner starts. It looks like we have about 27 inches. I'm gonna give it an inch slack just in case. I like to do that because I've messed up in the past. And it sucks when you mess up. But so we got about 27 inches before it reaches the headliner. Now I'll go back to the headliner and start poking holes and putting the Starlight through. Now, without getting this too confusing or too messed up, we're gonna start poking holes, sticking each individual strand through and then gluing it off. I'm gonna be using a nail because it's a little thicker than a needle to make sure there's a big enough hole to put this through. And you're gonna put a dab of glue over it. Could be hot glue, super glue, this is Gorilla Glue, whatever type of glue you want. But I guess without further ado, let's get started and start my misery. So now whenever you're poking all these holes for the light strands, it can be a little tough sometimes where the light strand doesn't go through. But I found that once you poke the initial hole, just stick the light strand through with the nail to guide it through the hole if you're having trouble. This can be a little tedious process, but you do have a lot of times to try it out and get used to it.
It's our time.
So when you're gluing these, one good tip is to pull out the light a little bit, add a little bit of glue, and then stick the light back in to make sure all that glue goes in. And just like that, we are done. I'm pretty sure gluing all of these in, so I'm gonna let these dry. Then we're gonna flip it over, cut off this thing to where it's smooth, and then stick it back in the truck. Let's get it. All right guys, so we got all the LED fiber lights glued in where I want them to be, hopefully. Now, I'm gonna take these pliers cutters that I have. You can use scissors if you want. I know they make a special tool that cuts them flush to the surface, but I don't have it, so I'm gonna use this for now, see how it turns out. Now we gotta cut 150 LED fiber lights. Let's get it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we just finished cutting all 150 strands of light. Now we're gonna do the test. All right, moment of truth. Ooh, okay. So you can see on some parts, I cut the wire too deep, like I can't even feel it. It looks a little faded, but for most of them, it looks good. I actually kind of like that look a little because some are brighter and some are dimmer. But okay, I am liking this look. I like how it's kind of spaced out too. Got a little bit of cluster right here, cluster a little bit. It actually looks pretty dope, I would say. So now, last thing we need to do, make sure the glue dries and then put it back in the truck. Let's get it. All right, guys, so it's nighttime. I got the headliner put in and I'm ready for this review. Oh! Damn, like I'm excited. Like that shit looks good. All right, so for an actual review, this is what it looks like with the Starlights in, but them off. You can't even see any of the strands sticking out. And then when you turn them on, you can see all of this.